So let's talk about the Jack of Spades, shall we? That clever, naughty, amazing, magical Jack of Spades. So before we get into that, really quick, let me just tell you, you can get the full report on any of these cards on our website. It is kismet.com, linked below. You can also find a lot of other really cool stuff on that page. If you look around, Cosmic Connections, Player's Guide, Royal Archetypes, really fun stuff. And I actually personally will do the Cosmic Connection reports for you. And yes, I am psychic and I will tune into your relationship. Very good deal. Great for Christmas presents and birthday presents, right? So anyway, also Facebook, we have a Kismet cards page, and I have a personal page on which I do live readings, and I draw cards for individuals. So on to the Jack of Spades. Spades represent the elders of the suit. It's a comprehensive kind of energy, and if you are not a spade, it is difficult to get into their head and to understand, because all of the suits become inclusive. It's like Russian dolls, and the hearts are in the center. The clubs, hearts are children, clubs are adolescents, diamonds are adults, and the sage wraps around all of it. So the sage can relate to being a child, an adolescent, etc. So the Jack of Spades represents the spade person in their creative mode. They're intensely creative, by the way, so it's very important for any spade to access the Jack, and it's also their inner child. So if you have a spade who is a child, this will be very relevant. So spades represent action and physical manifestation. Jacks represent creativity, youth, and the rebel. This is a very interesting rebel, one who will do stuff. Okay, so what is the ego expression of the Jack of Spades, just in a nutshell? I give an ego and an essence expression. So the ego can be very dark and manipulative, secretive, sneaky, cunning, enigmatic, wanting to mislead or misinform. My daughter has the Jack of Spades in her moon position, which really, moon is really all about your childhood. She had the ability to mask her energy and present whatever she wanted me to believe, which at that time I was just like, wow, that's impressive. I didn't know a person could do that. And that's why it's called the actor's card. It's also a very deeply shamanic card. And you think of Yoda kind of casting the cave, and Luke saying, what am I going to find in there? Only what you take with you. And that's that Jack of Spades archetype, to sort of cast a reality, manipulate reality. So the ego will use that for its own ends, and that's why it just all depends on your motive. How are you going to use that gift of being able to manipulate energy? Merlin, huh? The essence energy is the mentor, the spiritual initiate, also the spiritual initiator. I once had a Tai Chi instructor who was the Jack of Spades, and he was the full embodiment of his teaching. Really one of those teachers that you want to be around them to absorb by osmosis what they have become. They become the teaching that they give. They are, I said the shaman, the magician, the wayfinder, very creative in finding ways, very resourceful, finding ways out of situations, and they're also incredibly artistic. So it's really fun to look up famous people, especially ones that you have a very strong reaction to. Either you love them or you hate them. One that I love is Robert Downey Jr. He's the Four of Spades, which we call the professional teddy bear card. Go look up your card and find out what we nickname your card. This one is definitely Coyote. I forget the actual nickname, but yeah, he's got the Coyote archetype. So anyway, you can sort of keep spade people in your mind. Go find them, and then listen to this, and it'll give you a lot more context. So let's get specifically into their Venus card. I don't know what that was. My computer just glitched. This Jack of Spades energy is just so powerful. I'm going to take a drink of coffee. So every card has 13 cards in its hand, and one of them is your Venus card. And that tells you a lot of things. Your relating style to friends and lovers. And it also tells you what you enjoy in terms of what brings you a sense of calm and pleasure. And the women in your life. The Venus card will tell you a lot about not only your own feminine archetype, but the women that you attract into your life to teach you about your feminine archetype. Fascinating study. But we're going to focus a little bit more on just relationship style. So the Six of Diamonds is the Venus card to the Jack of Spades. There's another card that has a 6 for its Venus card, and that is the King of Hearts. So if you want to understand a little bit more about sixes as a Venus card, go watch that video. So the Six of Diamonds, what goes around comes around. So when you add in the personality of the Jack of Spades, kind of influences how he or she is going to make use of that energy. Jack of Spades are observers of karma. And if you do them wrong, expect some turnaround, some consequences. Sixes are about keeping track. Now, the King of Hearts is probably less likely to keep a tally, but the Jack of Spades is definitely going to keep a tally. They tend to store information because they're incredible strategists. They have the Eight of Clubs in their Mercury position, so go read the full report to understand how that works. But anyway, very masterful in how they think, very powerful mind. So yeah, they're very aware of karma. But that's the downside. The 6 also brings a sense of calm and harmony. And if you think of Robert Downey Jr. in his life in general, there seems to be a maturing into taking responsibility, doing one's duty. If you just get a sense of his personal life, not so much his characters, a little bit of that comes through. He's a masterful actor at projecting energy because he's a spade. But if you look at his personal life and see interviews, you just see this kind of calm humility that I'm just human, I show up, I do what needs to be done. So sixes bring that sense of duty into their relationships. In fact, his relationship in Iron Man with the Gwyneth Paltrow character that's pretty indicative of that Six of Diamonds. So because sixes like a plan, they like to know how things are going to go. They like a sense of harmony and flow. So they're going to be the ones to plan out the trip and make sure that they have all the supplies and what's the schedule and the itinerary. And that 6 energy really compels them to make things go smoothly, which means when things don't go smoothly, as things are wont to do, it can be very upsetting for them. So what are their resources? How are they going to respond when there is a change? It's just a good question to ask yourself if you're a spade or the Jack of Spades. So, all right, they crave ease and good juju in their relationships. Changes or the unexpected throws them off. Reading my notes. They may try to mother or manage their friends and partners. That's kind of a 6 energy. Because they have a keen sense of flow. They will do their duty by you, and they know what their responsibilities are, even if they don't fulfill them. So when you call them on it, they'll be like, yeah, because they've been paying attention. Okay, so akin to the karma concept, they also have a sense of balance, which can become a tit for tat, or it can be that it makes them aware of what they owe. And, this kindness has come towards me and I owe this back. This person stood by me in a time of crisis. I'm going to stand by them. So not to harp on Robert Downey Jr., but because I love him. I've researched him a bit. And when Mel Gibson took all that heat for the movie The Passion, being anti-Semitic, Robert Downey Jr. came out of the closet, so to speak, not gay, but just came out of hiding, so to speak, and just said, I support you. I stand by you because you stood by me when I was in rehab and going through all my drug stuff. Beautiful just to witness that. Not afraid of the consequence, but answering to a sense of duty. So that's a pretty powerful thing to bring to relationships, which means they will have an expectation of receiving the same. And it can be very daunting for them when there is inequity or imbalance of any kind in a relationship. So giving them a back rub is as good as getting one. The Lannisters must have been spades because they always pay their debts. Unfortunately, the Six of Diamonds seems to have a pretty serious shadow side which hides very well. So beware of secrets or secret lifestyles with the Jack of Spades or the immature spade. They can have a sort of I can get away with anything assumption. And since this is a karma card, what goes around comes around for them in terms of relationship. So yeah, that Six of Diamonds, as I have become more aware of almost like a divided personality, O.J. Simpson, I honestly believe that there was one side of him that did not know about the other side of him. So that's a very extreme example. But I've witnessed how they can push their shadow pretty deep. So it is absolutely essential for the Jack of Spades to explore, expose, and integrate their shadow. And they'll do it through relationship, or they will become aware of it through relationship, or perhaps through mother. So I'm going to talk about what I always talk about at the end, the royal archetypes. So if you are a spade or the Jack of Spades, you're not locked into this relating style. You also have the king to draw on and the queen. The King of Spades is the master card of the deck, very powerful authority, and they have a huge sense of responsibility. So this isn't the tit for tat, keeping the balance, the karmic balance even. The King of Spades is a father energy, and their Venus card is, it's the Ace of Clubs, which is also the Two of Hearts. So they have a powerful, deep bond with their friends and lovers. Very intense. And it's a very kind of straightforward looking into, being present to. So that's a great archetype for the Jack to grow into, is taking full responsibility. And you'll notice my intensity. King of Spades can be really intense. My mom was a King of Spades. They have a Circle of Seven card in their Venus position, which means most of their relationships will be Circle of Seven. So in the Karmic Connections reports, if you get a C7 / something or other, there are 7 cards in the deck which are in this special category, all their own, and the one word for it is intense. It could be intensely intimate, intensely passionate, intensely difficult. So that can also be an overarching theme for the Jack of Spades relationships. Okay, so the Queen, what is her relating style? She is very nurturing, somewhat caretaking, very compassionate wisdom. She has a 9 of Diamonds in her Venus position, so she's likely to be to extend herself, with a lot of kindness, maturity, and compassion, to really extend herself to another and be very intuitive. So these are some very interesting counterbalancing energies for the Spade. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please like, subscribe, and share, and send your Spade friends here. Okay, thanks.